These have been strange and challenging times. CBC was just coming out of high season when the quarantine really hit. And that means some people left sooner than they'd expected. Many left without us having the privilege of saying goodbye in person. Now, Sue and I never really considered heading stateside, but now that the flights have been canceled, it seems strange to know that we can't. It kind of drives home the fact that citizenship and residency are different things. Before we had our Panamanian e-cards, we had to do what everyone else did. We had to leave the country to reset our visa. We only had to do one Costa Rican border run, but I remember it well. It was somewhere in the middle of all the friendly predictions that we had received. It wasn't hellish, but it wasn't simple either. Punching out of Panama and entering Costa Rica took all of 15 minutes. But re-entering Panama the following day was like a nightmare amusement park. 4 hours of plodding line followed by 3 minutes of terror at this little glass window, trying to understand things in Spanish. But we survived the rides. We got our visa renewed for another 6 months. The strange thing was what I call the night between nations. At that time, many people were crossing into Costa Rica and returning to Panama the same afternoon. But when we asked, we got told in no uncertain terms that we had to be out of Panama overnight. So, once our passports had been stamped saying that we had exited Panama and were now residing in Costa Rica, we turned around, walked back across the border, and spent the night in a Panamanian hotel. Our residency was in one country, but our bodies were in another. Did you know that's the reality for every follower of Jesus Christ? In Ephesians chapter 2, verses 4 through 7, Paul writes, "Because of his great love for us, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in transgressions. It is by grace you have been saved. And God raised us up with Christ and seated us with him in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus, in order that in the coming ages he might show the incomparable riches of his grace expressed in his kindness to us in Christ Jesus." As Paul continues in that chapter, he reminds his readers that their salvation is solely a gift of God's unmerited grace. That's so important. Because salvation depends on God and not on us, that makes it certain. So certain that Paul can speak of our entry into heaven as past and accomplished. We're passing the night on earth, but our residency is already established in heaven. That should make a huge difference in how you live. Be sure you are living the reality of your residency. God bless.